So we're just catching up with where we were. I finished yesterday, so I'm back starting again today. It is Tuesday the 4th, February 2020 when I'm doing this. Um, Now, as we go through, as I kind of go through what we've built so far, I'm realizing that there's a few little issues that we're going to have to deal with. One of the big ones is, well, one of the first off, it's a little too bland in its layout. There's not much color pop, which normally I like this, but I think that it would be good to have some color in here, a little more than just this. Another big thing is that we don't have any feedback if we put in an asset. So if I put in checking here, and I didn't spell that right, there we go. So when I add it, it is added to the reducer. If we go like that, all we see is that it's gone. And so the user, if they're coming through this, they won't know if they've added it. They also won't be able to remember maybe what they've added and what they haven't added. So we need some sort of feedback that they can see to give them indication of what's already been added and so on. So that's something that I'd like to do. I do like the click through layout. Another thing I realized I needed to make it maybe a little bit bigger. So on this version, in the investments, I made it a little bigger, but once again, we want to have this just as one component so that they're all the same a little later. Plus, I played around with this choose one bar to try to solve our issue there with the TFSA not showing up. And I think I got it kind of solved. It just had to do with the heights of the different containers and wrappers. So what I've done is I haven't done this and recorded it, but I went through and rebuilt in Adobe. I did some rejigging of things. So we're going to walk through what hopefully this will look like. We had built this out already. Now the changes that I want to do is one thing I really don't like is legends. I don't like legends for the charts that show the color breakdown. I just find that they're a waste of space. And so I think that if I could assign each category a color that is sort of obvious as they click through, then they can show up in the chart. And this is just an example chart, so it doesn't have the matching color. But then they would be able to see, it would just sort of make sense there. Plus we'd have a little bit more color pop happening here. Then in this chart, that would be showing the breakdown of the different assets. So then as they click through, there would be different colors that would then be going into the charts. They could be adding things for each section and seeing how it plays out in the chart so they get some feedback. So I'm thinking I'm going to switch it to this style. I'm sorry that I keep switching the layout styles every time that I build something, then I realize there's an issue that I need to fix or rejig. So for instance, I had the issue that I wanted to give a reminder to people of the different types of accounts that they could have, but then I didn't want to just write out all the different accounts. So that's how I came up with this little account type, but then that's really helpful to me so that I can register each account or put them as to what type of type they are, which will be helpful down the road for the tax section. So as we go through, then for liabilities, we've got, for this one, I just have two colors. Another change that I'm making is I think I'm going to switch it. I had it before, I had three different types of liabilities, but really there's just two. There's just secured debt and unsecured debt. So secured would be like your mortgage or a car loan, and then unsecured is a credit card or a line of credit. So I think I'm just going to keep them as these two and sort of simplify things. Then as they click through to the final page, they'll have the chart at the top. Then this is where I'm going to have the color coordination, where rather than having a legend that takes up useless space, they can just see that the colors are what they are here, which I kind of like. Then I really like this toggle back and forth, so I'd like to keep that if I can. So if they clicked on one, then boom, it brings up the setup there. And then, oh, I don't think I can get, I didn't set up a back button. But then they could adjust it. They could add more items to that category, or they can go back and switch things around. So this is kind of the layout. I think I'm getting close to how I would like it for the net worth section. And then when we build the spending section, we'll want it to be really similar. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking a lot about as well, is how would this play out for spending. So for spending, say you could have per category a chart showing the amount of spending in that category, and then the long-term breakdown. So that'll be helpful for you guys. So that's just an intro to what we'll be doing. And then and then I think that yeah, we'll just go from there. So our next section, I'm going to go into building out the investments component. I'm also going to try to throw in this title, and then we'll just keep building along. So I will add this.